Thanos versus Darkseid. And here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just a coincidence. This feels almost intentional. Back in 1970, DC introduced Darkseid. Not just another villain, this guy ruled Apocalypse, a literal nightmare world. Everything about him screams control. His entire obsession, the anti-life equation. Not a weapon, not a throne control over free will itself. Imagine wiping out choice across the universe. That's the level he's playing on. And he's not just talking big either. This man has reduced over 100,000 worlds to dust chasing that goal. Now fast forward just a few years. 1973. Marvel drops Thanos in Iron Man 55, and suddenly we've got another cosmic warlord. Big, imposing, purple-toned, sitting somewhere out in space deciding the fate of existence. But his method? The Infinity Stones. His logic? Balance. Wipe out half of all life, and somehow things get better. Sounds insane, because it is, and you start to notice the pattern. Both are universal-level threats, not city-level, not planet-level everything. When they show up, it's not one hero stepping in. It's everyone. Justice League for Darkseid, Avengers and beyond for Thanos. Full-scale, endgame-level chaos. But here's the twist. Their motivations split just enough to feel different. Comic Thanos, he's doing it to impress death itself. MCU Thanos, he's playing savior, solving the problem of overpopulation in the worst way possible. Meanwhile, Darkseid doesn't care about balance or death. He wants absolute control. Different reasons. Same result. Total domination. So the real question is, did Marvel take inspiration or just reshape the same idea? Dr. Fate versus Dr. Strange. And this is where things get even weirder, because now we're not talking strength or weapons, we're talking magic. Back in 1940, DC introduced Dr. Fate. Kent Nelson wasn't just a hero, he became something else entirely the moment he put on the helmet of fate. That helmet isn't just gear. It houses Nabu, an ancient, powerful entity. From that point on, Fate isn't really alone. He's a host, a vessel. And his job? Protect Earth from threats no one else can even understand. Demons, curses, reality-breaking forces. Then, in 1963, Marvel introduced Doctor Strange. A completely different path, at least on the surface. Stephen Strange starts as a surgeon, arrogant, grounded in science until everything falls apart. That's when he trains under the Ancient One and rebuilds himself into the Sorcerer Supreme. No possession, no external control, just pure mastery earned the hard way. But look closer, and the overlap is hard to ignore. Both are the go-to magic specialists. When things get weird, like reality-tearing weird, they're the first call. Spells, ancient artifacts, duplications, interdimensional battles. This isn't your typical superhero work. No street patrols, no bank robberies. They're dealing with threats that could erase existence itself. The real difference? Fate channels power. Strange owns it. Same role, different source. Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. And just when you think powers define everything, these two prove skills can hit just as hard. Green Arrow showed up in 1941 as Oliver Queen, a billionaire who loses everything, survives against all odds, and comes back different. Not just richer, but sharper. He trains, adapts, and becomes a vigilante with nothing but a bow and pure discipline. But here's the thing, his story was never just about crime. It leaned into politics, inequality, and the systems that create the problems he fights. Even in the CW version, you see that shift. He goes from vigilante to mayor, trying to fix things from the inside. Then came Hawkeye in 1962. Clint Barton. No powers, no wealth, no flashy origin. Just a guy with insane aim and a past rooted in espionage. He's a spy first, a hero second, and everything he does comes down to precision. Now look at them side by side. It's almost too clean. Both rely on trick arrows, explosive tips, EMP shots, grappling lines, and smoke screens. Both operate at the peak human level. No superpowers, no shortcuts. And yet, they're standing shoulder to shoulder with literal gods. Superman on one side, Thor on the other hand. That's the crazy part. They shouldn't belong, but they do. Still, the difference hits deeper. Oliver leads, builds, and fights for a system. Clint, he isolates. And when everything breaks, he becomes Ronin. Same weapons, completely different mindset. Flash versus Quicksilver. And here's where things really start to split. Because on paper, these two look identical. Both have one defining trait: super speed. That's it. That's the headline. But once you look closer, the gap between them is insane. Quicksilver gets his speed through mutation, or, in the MCU, from an Infinity Stone experiment. It's fast, no doubt. Faster than anyone around him. He can move like a blur, react in seconds, and bend moments just enough to stay ahead. But then you have the Flash, and it's a completely different level. His power comes from the Speed Force. And this isn't just speed, it's like tapping into the laws of reality and breaking them. He can run through time, literally travel to the past, and perceive the world at a level where everything else feels frozen. There are moments in the comics where he outruns time itself. Think about that. Quicksilver? He's fast. Flash? He's untouchable. And that difference shows up in the hardest way possible. Quicksilver wasn't fast enough to save himself. Same idea, same ability. But scaled so far apart, they don't even feel like the same category anymore. Aquaman versus Namor. Now this one barely even tries to hide it. Namor comes in first, Marvel's original mutant. Half Atlantean, half human, and already carrying that identity conflict from day one. He rules Atlantis, commands entire underwater armies, and moves through the ocean like it's his natural kingdom, because it is. They call him the Submariner. But make no mistake, he's a king first, and most of his story? It's about protecting his world from the surface. Then you've got Aquaman, Arthur Curry, son of an Atlantean queen and a human lighthouse keeper. Different origin details, same core idea. He's the bridge between two worlds, and just like Namor, that balance never comes easy. And the similarities don't stop there. Super strength, insane durability, control over the ocean, communication with sea life, it's almost a mirror. Both lead massive underwater kingdoms. Both step onto land and go toe-to-toe with heavy hitters like it's nothing. But here's where it hits deeper. The politics. Surface world versus ocean. Distrust, conflict, retaliation. You saw it play out clearly in Wakanda Forever, that tension, that constant back and forth. That's their entire reality. And at the center of it all, identity. They're both stuck between land and sea, never fully belonging to either. Out of everyone on this list, these two might be the closest match. Catwoman versus Black Cat. And just when you think it's all gods and kings, it comes down to two thieves in cat suits. Selina Kyle in Gotham, Felicia Hardy in New York. Different cities, same kind of problem, high-level break-ins that no one sees coming. These aren't random criminals. They're professionals. Master thieves who move in silence and disappear before anyone even realizes what's gone. Both are anti-heroes, walking that thin line between right and wrong. And yeah, both have that complicated on and off thing with their city's biggest hero, Batman for Catwoman, Spider-Man for Black Cat. That tension? It's part of the identity. Look at how they operate, it's almost identical. Stealth, agility, precision. Claws for close combat, grappling lines to move across rooftops, lockpicks, lenses, everything built for one perfect heist. But then the split happens. Black Cat has an edge that goes beyond skill. Luck. Or more accurately, the ability to twist probability itself. Things just go wrong for everyone around her. Add in her sci-tech enhancements, and she's playing a slightly different game. Catwoman? No powers, nothing extra. Everything she is comes from survival, from experience. And when it comes to straight-up fighting, she might actually have the advantage. Same theme, but the depth hits differently. Atom versus Ant-Man. And just when you think the similarities couldn't get tighter, science steps in and makes it even more obvious. Ray Palmer, aka the Atom, shows up in DC with one game-changing idea: size manipulation. Not magic, not mutation, pure tech. He builds a suit that lets him shrink down to microscopic levels or grow beyond human scale. Same story over at Marvel, where Hank Pym and later Scott Lang use Pym particles to do exactly that as Ant-Man. Shrink small, hit hard. Grow big, hit harder. That's the core. Both are masters of infiltration. They don't charge into fights, they disappear, sneak in, and hit where it matters. Their fighting style is unpredictable, almost impossible to track. 1 second they're gone. Next second, they're inside your defenses. And on their teams, they're not the heavy hitters. They're the ones solving problems no one else can. But there's a slight edge on one side. The Atom can fly. He can fire energy blasts. He's got a bit more versatility baked into the suit. Ant-Man stays grounded in Pym particle physics. And the timing? Adam gets his powers in 1961. Ant-Man shows up in 1962. Too close to ignore. Same science. Almost the same idea.